Debbie, the researcher.
And I'm Judy, the athlete, and we're here to help you better your best.
Recently, the topic of routines has come back around, and the athletes are really good these days about having their pre-shot routine preparation, all those things in place, and doing them very sometimes meticulously. And we started that research on that topic probably in the 80s. It was a long time ago. And so what I experienced tournament-wise recently was changes in routines again. And what is optimal? What really helps them the most? And there's two components, of course, to the routine, as you know. One is is what they're doing, the pieces and the order, of course, that they do it in. And the other one is the timing of all of it. And so as we've played over the years with it, I think you can certainly work with the components, the pieces, and the order and vary those things, but it's the timing of it that's critical. And so if there was one factor that was most important, it would be the timing. So we time routines, and we know that the best performers are within 1 or 2 seconds always of their optimal time. Everybody's different. But out in the real world, it can be total time or it can be pace. That's what I've kind of learned more recently. And I think pace is absolutely critical, whether they pick it up or they slow it down. And I know you've played with it as well.
Yeah, and you and I had a great conversation even before we started this about it, and like understanding pace and timing and whatever word you use, because words are so important. But I know also that when you get too stuck on components or too stuck meticulous, like you said, on your routine, you can just really start to go down the rabbit hole really fast because you're putting so much attention on some piece. And so the best story that probably comes to me is this big tournament in Las Vegas. It's 3 days long. They shoot for 3 days. First 2 days, just really, really struggled. Things were, and you could just tell, you could see the wheels turning, the gears going of figuring out these components and what my pace is and worrying about the clock and worrying about, how much time and how I'm doing things. And, it just, I'll never forget just finally saying, I don't care what you do on the third day. I want you to be the first archer off the line, meaning get your 3 arrow shot and get off the line. And in order to do that, right, obviously they had to change their pace. They had to move faster. Correct. They had to get through it. And I thought it was interesting when you told me earlier, it's like you can't just say faster.
Correct. Because then their primary focus is going to be on going fast and not on shooting the arrow or hitting the shot. So we still want their primary focus on what they're there to do, okay? And if they simply pick up the pace of it, it'll fall into place. So they don't have to work so hard at it, because it's not going to work. Just being faster isn't. They still have to put the arrow in the middle or the ball in the hole, one of the two. And then the added component to it is under stress. So under stress, the athlete's either going to get a little faster or a little slower. They'll do one of the two. And if they know that ahead of time, that's coming, so we'll add that to the equation. They can be ready for it, and they can make their plans and get everything going exactly the way they want before they even walk up to the shot.
And I feel like under pressure in a tournament situation, pace is almost always the answer.
It is. It is. In tournament, what gets off more so, you got emotions, you got adrenaline, you got all these things that are, toying with pace. And so you can keep your pace under all those different things going on. You can perform great and better your best.